Ka-chow!
Start by removing the triangle trim pieces. Then remove the rectangle trim piece from behind the door handle and remove the 2 Phillips head screws. Slide the door handle to the right a bit so it comes off its hooks. Disconnect the electrical connector, and then to undo the lever, gently push back the plastic clip that's hanging onto the metal lever, then lift the lever up out of the plastic clip. Next, remove the small circle trim piece behind the armrest and remove the Phillips head screw. Remove the speaker cover just by prying with your hands, and remove the speaker by taking out the 3 Phillips head screws and disconnecting the electrical connector. I forgot to film the door panel removal on this car, so here it is on the passenger side of another element. You just get your fingers under one of the bottom edges and work your way around, making sure all the clips are undone. Then lift up, not out, on the door panel to remove it from the window slot. Remember to disconnect the connectors for the master window switch. Unlatch the door handle lever, remove the plastic button. Removing the exterior door handle, there are 2 10mm bolts. Then you're going to remove the lock cylinder. The lock cylinder has a retaining clip. If you push down on the edge, it will form a small space at the bottom that you can tug on with a pick or similar tool. Remember to push down on the edge to create a gap.
Got it.
Then push the lock cylinder into the door from the outside and catch it. Undo the exterior door handle linkage. I used a pair of channel locks to push it through its plastic holder. You do need a power tool for these screws. I tried an impact screwdriver and it didn't work. Also, ignore that the exterior door handle is still attached. It is best to remove it when you did in the previous step. At this point, you'll want to remove the 10mm bolt for the window run channel and undo the plastic clip holding the connectors across the door. Remove the plastic guard over the actuator and pull it out of the door. Disconnect the 2 connectors to the actuator. Undo the linkage that is in the blue clip the same way you removed the others by lifting up on the lever and pulling the linkage out. Maneuver the actuator down, out the hole in the door. Be careful not to bend the long lock lever that's still sticking up. Remove the metal cover on the actuator by removing the screw and lifting up on the plastic tabs, then squeezing the clip together. You have to pry up on both clips on both sides at the same time. Start one side, then gently start the other side and lift up. Just remember they are plastic, so be careful. Compare your new parts with your old parts. Clip the new actuator into place. Put the metal guard back on. There's actually a trick to this. The back side away from the edge that overlaps has to line up first. Then everything snaps into place at once. I tightened the screw hand tight. The door lock has to stay up so that when we put it in here, it comes through this little hole. I'm going to gently put it back in as much as possible. You should have more room because you removed the wiring. Just set the actuator in the correct direction, then finagle the door lock through the hole before putting the actuator into place. Remember, you can move the window run channel around for more room. Be careful not to bend any of the small metal levers or their plastic counterparts. Orient all the levers. The outer door handle should rest out, and there's a lever for the door lock where the key goes, and there's also a lever for the inner door handle which goes into the blue clip. After you place the lever in the clip, you latch the clip over the lever. Now you can tighten the screws holding the actuator. Clip the 2 connectors back in. Put the plastic guard back on. It has to come down from the top and clip in. Then put the plastic push button back on. Put the lever back into the outer door handle and latch the clip over the lever. This is the lock cylinder lever that we're going to put back in when we put the lock cylinder back in. The door handle has a little hook, so the top goes in first. Put the 2 10mm bolts back in at 5 to 7 foot-pounds. Push the lock cylinder back into its hole. The retaining clip has a channel that it lives in, which you can see here. Push the lever back into the lock cylinder. Put the window run channel 10mm bolt back in. Stick the interior door handle lever through its designated hole in the plastic and hook it back into its holder on the door. Make sure to reconnect the master window switch and speaker. Then make sure the window is rolled all the way down. It just makes it easier to get the door panel on. Start with the corner closest to the mirror and line everything up, including the door lock knob. You will know when everything is lined up. You shouldn't have to force it. It will slide into place. Fish out the electrical connector for the door handle lock button. You can now push the door panel back onto the door. Put the speaker cover back on and make sure you get the screw that goes in behind the armrest. The lever for the door handle is the same as all the rest of the levers. Put the lever in the plastic clip, then push the clip over the metal lever. Put the 2 screws back in at hand tight or 5 to 7 foot-pounds and replace the rectangle plastic trim piece. Put the 2 triangle trim pieces back on and voila! If you have a remote lock-unlock option, your keys should now unlock all the doors. If you don't have a remote unlock option, then you can now install that. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe below so we can help other people find this video. You can also find other helpful tips and tricks on my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn at Girlie Garage.